such a rude boy. But it's not like EU players are able to play Intra Cups or anything. Wow, Cechi already creating some beautiful baby rage here. That's just lovely. We cannot play Intra Cup because our ping sucks, and now you want GERA Cup and you want to play with best ping. He got actually a point there. I like that. He got a point. Guys, don't get me wrong. He definitely got a point with that. Cechi 2016, one of the most beautiful and handsome players in the world. Baby Rage is live. So we're gonna have top half of Amazonia. It is Nomad, top half of Nomad. We're gonna have the Baby Rage himself, Cechi, spawning here as the light blue undead player. And the bottom we have the South Korean orc player Soin. If it's the real Soin, which I think it is, then he is a very good orc player that is definitely able to create some trouble here for Mr. Chechikov. But we're gonna find out in a second. So let's see what's happening here. Joes, are you practicing Warcraft 3 for the qualifiers, and what's your thoughts on your group? I think my group is definitely a group that I can make it out of, and then we're gonna find out how the grid looks like afterwards. So yeah, I'm practicing and I'm trying my best for the WCA qualifier, but on the other hand, sometimes you just never get lucky, you know. That happens. Yo, Krillix, how's it going, man? How was your weekend? I hope you're doing good. And yeah, let's see. Let's pay attention to the game. We're gonna have a Blade Master coming out of that Altar of Storms in a second. Barracks is already live in a few, and then we're gonna see Grunt Blade Master, and the most important decision will be, is he going for a second Borrow or is he skipping on that? So far, he's sending out one of his peons to get some scouting done. It's a 3-player map, so you gotta find out that position of your opponent by scouting one of these open positions. Blade Master Grunt it is so far. He is adding a second Borrow, so he's not going for a super fast tech on such a big map. It's definitely a possibility and a really good one, I feel. Cechi is also creating a full wall off. We have already seen it in the game of Happy against My Life, or actually just call him Life. Now we're gonna see that full wall off from Cechi, just as beautiful as the one that Happy created. One Fiend, late DK, everything normal so far for the undead player here. Blade Master is already out on the field. We see the Vulu launch coming, and he's now going for some creeping, picking up the first experience. But before he's doing that, he wanted to bait out the creep, which doesn't make too much sense, to be honest. He just took a few free hits, and now he's finally going for the creep. Could have been done a little bit more elegant, I feel, but whatever. Not a biggie, just like these tiny things that might add up. Fiend is already pulling the creeps on the other side to bait them in and do some damage. But let's see about the first item drop here for Soin. He's of course hoping for that beautiful item to stack his damage up. Claws of Attack is the dream in this case. And he gets the nuts. The dream is real. First +6. There we go. Peon is scouting Mr. Chechikov that is coming in with the Dust of Hyperion and the Rod of Necromancy, already spawning 2 skeletons at his graveyard at home. He's now killing that Gnoll Warden. Should be careful. Gnoll Warden just got killed by the Peon. The trigger happiness of Baby Rage should already be heavily pushed. And we're gonna see some salt coming if he kills that Overseer. He's not even risking that one. He's going for a coil, but maybe he also expected the Blade Master to be around. But yeah, the first little guy was taken over by the Peon, and now that Blade Master is level 2 with any more creeping, that was just beautifully executed with the ping of 100 by that South Korean Wonderkind, even saving that Peon there from the skeleton. Is he going down to the creeps? Nope, he's not pulling any aggro. DK is now on the chase. He's looking forward to cancel the healing self here of that Grunt. On the other side we see another Grunt. Blade Master, we can see he picked up a little bit more experience, but this was due to the fact that he killed the skeleton, I feel, not killing any more of Chechi's creeps. Yeah, even if he coils that one, he will not be level 2, so it wasn't really worth it. Chechi's taking to tier 2 already at the third ghoul fairly early. We do see the tech for the orc player. Third Borrow is coming. Both of the players are kind of figuring out, what are you doing? Okay, everything normal. Let's go back to our normal game and let me be aggressive. Of course, the Blade Master on level 2 with the healing selves equipped. He's just looking for a few exchanged hits here. If he baits out a few coils, that's beautiful. If he baits out like a lot of damage on one of the... Whoa! Beautiful 4 units around of that Baby Rager. That was just well executed. That grunt takes quite some damage. He's committing a coil for that, and he's getting the kill on that grunt. But in the meantime, he needs to be careful. He's not microing his fiend. He's not blocking the Blade Master. Cannot block him if he's windwalked. Loses 1 for 1 if he's getting that trade. The grunt is still running home. That other grunt could have actually denied him. It's not going for that, but in the meantime, he's chasing the fiends away. The Frost Tower was not upgraded early. DK gets the kill of the grunt, is level 2 now, pulls the ghouls. But in the meantime, 2 of his fiends are in danger of falling. They need to be microed. Frost Tower is still not ready. Blade Master got 1 more. Windwalk after that. This fiend is going down, and the trades are really bad for Mr. Cechi. What did you think what will happen if you leave your fiends alone in a base without a Frost Tower mate? That trade was not that well executed. Wow. What started first with a peon steal of a creep is now going into 2 fiends dying because of poor execution or poor thinking. I can see a guy that will be really triggered over the outcome of that little encounter. So Tier 2 is finally reached for the undead player. Cechi might not be happy with what he got, but he needs to work with that. Another fiend will be added, Lich is coming, no slaughterhouse yet. Tier 3 immediately being started. TC will be the second hero of choice for Soin. Bestiary is already coming and about to be done. Skeleton being sent out for scouting purposes. Blade Master is not here, so DK definitely gets that kill on the Wild Temptress. Wand of Illusion, not that bad. Not that bad. Let's see what he can do here.
Player's forces are
He's now going for some more creeping on that spider behemoth crab, but he cannot do this as long as the Blade Master level 3 is around. He's now going for the skeleton. Backstabs the skeleton. Doesn't make too much sense. Nice Frost Tower hit on the Blade Master. Slaughterhouse is coming. Tier 3 is not started. He gathers a little bit more lumber. Now with the Lich on the field and the Frost Armor being active, he can definitely do something. Can go on the map and afford some more creeping. He only got 3 fiends. Just imagine if this would be 5. It's a hell of a different story. And I think he can also tech faster. Because if he's not getting these fiends back, he will never be able to creep something in his life again. So Blade Master, 2 more Windwalks and the Wand of Illusion. TC is already level 2 by creeping that one. Finds the Sentry Ward, a beautiful item to get some more awareness on the map. Blade Master is waiting for the first steal. I'm not even sure if this is worth it with a level 2 Windwalk to steal one of the tiniest turtles on the map. Level 2 DK is not really putting too much pressure on the Blade Master, but he wants to drive him away because he saw that there's no more healing on him. 0 healing salves, and this is a problem. Usually if you want to be aggressive and in the face of your opponent, you should definitely buy a few healing salves on your Blade Master, so that you can heal up after what just happened. Like, put pressure on him, he just walks away, heals up, comes back later. TC in the meantime creeping the natural expansion for the Orc player. Grunts are all fairly low, but we do not see any aggression coming his way, so it's good and cool. That Lich already up with plus 15 damage, so Cechi finds himself a few good items. Claws of Attack plus 9 from that mercenary camp. Pen of Energy would have been the nuts, but he couldn't get that one.
A player's forces are under attack.
So he's adding another Ziggurat to... He's like adding another Ziggurat to get the full wall off, and then he decides to kill that tree. I'm not sure if that's the best execution I've ever seen. But that might be just a tiny thing as long as the Orc player is not abusing it. He also keeps the Wand of Illusion. He's not sending any scouts out. Of course he's sending out the skeletons, but if an illusion would have not been like... Illusions sometimes they just get more stuff done, because they have more HP. The illusion of a DK travels a little bit faster than a skeleton, and overall I think it's like a really good scouting tool to have. We see Illusion Raider here. Blade Master with the Orb of Lightning plus 19 damage in total without a Kodo Aura. And not even speaking of the improved Kodo Aura that will come into play later. We do not see an expansion attempt coming. Kodo is now being added. We see that reinforced defense upgrades for the Borrow. A beautiful surround there on the big sea turtle. Skeleton scouting that one, realizing that there's not too much to be done about it, but still approaching that scenery. Coming with the level 3 DK and the level 2 Lich. Knows that this TC is just an illusion, but the big turtle is already gone, and it was a Wand of Mana stealing. He can steal some of that mana from the DK and transfer it over to his second hero. TC is running for his life. He's not committing to a fight yet. A few of his units are a little bit damaged, and 2 grunts and 2 raiders does not seem to be enough to take that fight. Blade Master equipped with Dust of Appearance and the Lesser Invulnerability Potion. Great inventory. He knows that he just needs to take out a few more fiends to decrease the numbers to an all-time low. Destroyer upgrade is not being done yet. He's probably looking forward to pick up a 3rd hero soon. Yeah, the game Lolite against TH on Echoids, that was ridiculous. That was a ridiculous game for China against Korea. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's one of the best Echoids games that I have seen in the recent days. So he's pulling 2 ghouls. He got the destroyer upgrade. He got 165 wards, so he can transform 2 of his destroyers. Does he have the amount of supply? No, he can only transfer 1. Orc player is now going for the biggest creep spot of the map, or one of the biggest. There's actually an even bigger camp that nobody ever gets. There's the Dark Wizard. He can easily steal that one if he feels like it, but he's approaching the army. Let's go of that creep spot. That one was actually ridiculously low. There's a cheap that is actually a unit right here, that polymorphed raider. He doesn't realize it. He saw it. He thinks it's a critter, but it's actually a raider. He could have killed that one easy peasy. Wow. And there is that sentry. Wow, that he really needs to get the Dark Wizard before the Blade Master comes in. Uses the Dust of Appearance. Gets the kill on that. Scroll of Restoration. Cannot get that one with the Dark Ranger because he's blocking with the Blade Master as well. Or with the Raider. And the scroll falls into the hands of the Orc player. Really well done there by Soin, blocking the way of the DK with his Raider before that ensnaring that Dark Ranger. Now he needs to coil the Lich in the very last second. That was intense. TC in the middle of everything with an Invo Potion equipped. Dispels the silence with that, most likely. Lich is the target, Destroyer is the target. Also the creeps are approaching the units of Cechi. Not sure if this is the best battlefield for him to take a fight on. But despite the fact that it might not have been the best scenery, about to call that one. Now the Blade Master is the target of choice. But how nice was that steal there? The steal of the Scroll of Restoration, that was just completely nuts. Blocking the Dark Ranger with an ensnare, then body blocking the DK. Wow. But it really seems that way, that Soin got a little bit of a better ping there than Cechi. Of course, you can see him struggle. He needs to dispel that Scroll of Speed. He's doing that right now. Can he kill the Raiders in time? Uses the Staff to gather some of the illusions, and now the Scroll of Restoration has been popped. Mana on all both of the heroes, as well as the health is being regenerated. And wow, Cechi must be really mad about some stuff that just got pulled off in this game. I don't think that the scroll was wasted though. Saving both of his Kodo Beasts, securing himself a good position in that fight, driving the underplayer away was definitely worth it. There's not too much that like benefits from the scroll if you only have like 2 heroes with mana. That fiend is going down, being picked off by the Blade Master with the ridiculous plus 19 damage. Wow. And I think what Cechi should do in order to get back into that game, he needs to creep big. He needs to creep the left-hand side of the map, get every single item that he can get ridiculous high-level heroes, and then probably approach a fight that the underplayer cannot lose, because he gets such a nice hero advantage, but also so in realizing that, not willing to give him any more time to establish that high-level hero count on his side. 2 Fiends, 1 Destroyer is not that impressive, to be honest. In the middle we see Soin camping, Blade Master trying to catch reinforcements in the middle of the way there. TC now approaching the fight, and I think he needs to pull the Town Pole, immediately dodges the Ensnare there beautifully by transforming his 1 Fiend into a Destroyer, his 1 statue into a Destroyer. The TC is looking for a nice stomp on all of the heroes. One of the Destroyers is already dead against the Headhunters. The Fiends need to be careful, as well as the Lich. Blade Master is driven away. There is 1 more coil, and now he's out of mana. No more coils. Lich still got an Invo Potion. Kodo Beast finds a connection, eats another Fiend. Invo Potion needs to be used, uses that one. TC is the target of choice. Is he getting that one? He doesn't have another coil. Does he have a Nova? No Nova. He cannot kill the heroes. The Blade Master being blocked by the Kodo Beast. Now the Lich is the target of choice. 5 more mana points missing to heal up that hero. Now we have 45 supply against the 47 supply of the underplayer. It looks kind of ridiculous because we only see red units, 1 Destroyer, 1 Fiend, and that super low Lich. approaching the middle there to actually buy that Blade Master back. Now he's back on the field and without anything, like he didn't lose anything in that fight besides his hero. Kinda sounds ridiculous, but now looking back at it, buying that hero back, he basically is back to everything that he had before the fight. Destroyer is being ensnared. Soin wants to be aggressive and in the face of the underplayer. Destroyer is of course a huge commitment. A lot of resources are in these units. For level 2 endurance or a level 2 critical strike for the Orc player, and the underplayer still struggling to establish that high level hero composition on his side. Level 3 Lich is of course nice. Level 3 DK without mana is not really bringing too much to the fight. Blade Master is revealed. Just cannot really take that fight. So we can see that Foggy is still fighting for a spot to go to China, which would be an amazing story once again. But so far we are committed to GERA Cup. He's fighting for his life here, for his tournament life. Cechi could drop out. Matching him up against Soin in such an early stage of the tournament is kind of ridiculous. The Dark Wizard is falling to the ground. What item will he reveal? Wow, that's actually a good one. Potion of Restoration. 500 HP as well as 200 mana will be restored with that one. That's really good. It's actually like a health stone and mana stone at the same time. Level 4 for the DK, almost level 3 for the Dark Ranger, and 3.5 for the Lich already. Orc players approaching the last red camp with that sick item drop opportunity. I'm not really sure if Soin should open up such a huge timing window for the undead to get some more creeping done. Cechi will not be here in time and he doesn't know about that, but he should be going for the top red spot before he approaches that red camp. What item did drop? A red drake. That's a really bad item against undead with destroyers, because you can easily dispel that one and turn it against him. Level 4.5 TC. If he ever sees level 5, he will turn into a beast. We now have Spirit Walkers coming as well. Late Spirit Walkers being added to the army to dispel that silence from the TC, so he's not forced to use an Invo Potion whenever he gets silenced to get rid of that one. Another Claws of Attack plus 9 being dropped. Lich goes up to plus 29 damage overall. More creeps falling to the ground. Cechi gathers some more experience. That Coil Nova will be intense. We don't see third hero coming for the Orc player, so no heal wave. And if he's not able to keep his heroes alive, he will have a big problem. He sold the Scroll of the Beast that he just got from the laboratory. He sold the Red Drake, bought a mana potion for that. He wants to do some more stomping. 60 supply on his side, 60 supply on the side of Cechi. Now killing that red camp. Ankh of Reincarnation being dropped. So that Dark Ranger, even if it dies, she will come back. More statues, only 2 ghouls on the wood department. 62 supply. 60 supply still for the Orc, but he got a level 5 TC now. Blade Master is coming to steal that one. Gets the item, gets the experience, denies the XP from the undead player. That was a major mistake, because he had Dust of Appearance. He could have used it, but he was kind of too greedy. So no level 5 for the DK though. And yeah, that level 5 TC is a beast. He's even pulling the TC away while creeping this, and then global experience will be granted. So almost level 5 Blade Master as well. A level 3 critical strike can make him jump to 323 or 350 crits. Improved Kodo Aura, it's going from plus 19 to plus 29 damage on the Blade Master. That's just ridiculous. So Lich with an Invo Potion, Dark Ranger with an Ankh, and that DK with that big Potion of Restoration is now approaching the 70 to 80 supply zone, while the Orc player is sitting on 70 supply already with a bunch of Headhunter, a lot of Headhunter to be honest. 3 Raiders, 2 Kodo Beast, and 3 Spirit Walkers now in total. No grunts though. Not a single grunt in the mix. So not too much meat shield. So we do have 69 supply now for Cechi. He's approaching the main base of the Orc player. He's bringing the fight to the Orc, but the defender's advantage is of course huge. He can buy stuff at the Voodoo launch. His reinforcements will come out faster if he takes a fight close to his main base. Kills the first raider already. We do have only level 1 skeletons, which tells us that there will be level 2 silence. The speed scroll is being used. There could be a stomp on the DK immediately being silenced. The focus on the DK is real. He uses that invo potion as well as the healing salve on top of that on his hero. Now that level 3 critical strike is also started. The TC drops to the ground, immediately dies there. Nicely focused by Cechi, so he's not able to keep a second hero alive. Only leaves him with a level 5 Blade Master now without any sustain. That level 5 Blade Master is going at it, wants to kill a few more units. One Fiend down, another Fiend about to die, but what can an Orc player really do without heroes? Lich kills the Blade Master, and Soin is heavily throwing that game as it feels. Losing both of his heroes only leaves him with units, and what are units worth if you have triple undead heroes going at it? Level 554. Soin calls GG, and Baby Rage able to take that game home, advancing in the tournament, dropping out a South Korean Orc player. Well played, Chechikov. Hands down. Well played, mate. Spectaholic, thank you very much.